Welcome to the Profit Talks podcast, hosted by the Orange County Inland Empire SBDC Network, funded in part by the U.S. Small Business Administration and the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. This show is the go-to resource for business owners seeking empowerment, education, and resources to succeed. Join us as we connect you with experts, share the triumphs of fellow entrepreneurs, and reveal the wealth of assistance available to you today to level up your business. So let's go. Let's dive in and learn more. And I hope you're ready to learn more, because we got a lot to talk about today here. We have with us a woman that has not one title, but two. Welcome, Manal Richa, the director of the Cal State Fullerton SBDC office and the director of the Global Trade Center. Did I get all those titles correct here?
You got it right, Paul. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. You, in your role as both, were involved in this quite a big summit that the SBDC put on recently here in Irvine. The full name was the Small Business Growth Summit, but I think it's really the Small Business Solution Summit. Everybody's looking for solutions these days. How do I market myself? How do I find more customers? How do I attract more capital? How do I find more customers and all that sort of stuff? You talked about a little of all that at this summit, right?
Correct. The summer featured three major tracks when it comes to resources and also training opportunities for small business owners. We had the track that's access to capital, right? Everybody wants to talk money.
Everybody wants to talk money. That's the first one, yeah.
Exactly. In that track, there was a focus on finding alternative funding sources, including exploring non-traditional financing options, such as crowdfunding, for example. Also, we led a session on building a strong capital case, how business owners can create a compelling business plan and financial projections to ensure that they are increasing their chances with lenders.
And can I stop you there for a second? Because that's an interesting way that you just phrased it. It's almost create a compelling story. Do I have to tell a story to the lender, or is it just dollars and cents? Is it all just figures on a page, or is there a story that goes with it?
It's all of the above. Numbers tell a story, but also business owners. I think that's what's really unique about our small business community is the stories that are behind the why, the how, and the next steps when it comes to starting, growing, and expanding a business. And these stories is what separate us from the huge corporations that are out there.
Yeah, because when you're big enough, I don't have to tell you a story of what I'm going to do with it or my passion or how I started this business or how committed I am to this business. It's just strictly dollars and cents. But I think I hear more and more when you're a small business, you got to add some story to it. They got to bet on you, not just the business.
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct.
All right. Money. It starts with that, but is that the end all? Is that the only thing it takes to grow these days? Gee, if I had more capital, I could open up more stores, I could expand my factory, I could go overseas, or is it more than that? Too often I think we don't know what to do with the money. Yeah.
I wish, but as we all know, small business owners, how resilient they are, and part of that resiliency is the multiple hats that they wear. So we did have one of other...
I'm going to switch hats about 3 times today here to be a small businessman, yeah.
Exactly. So we did have a very elaborative marketing track where we focused the sessions on discussing top trends in social marketing and understanding analytics. And of course, nowadays, we cannot ignore the influence and the presence of AI, artificial intelligence.
Those 2 letters. Boy, everybody's got those 2 letters on their mind here.
Exactly. And how to use these platforms to support marketing strategies and building marketing as well. Building marketing that delivers results, right? That's what we're looking for, because everybody can be posting on social media. We can all put content that's out there, but the bottom line is ROI.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder sometimes if we pay enough attention to the ROI, or we just in a rush, just put it out there. I don't care what it is. Post every day, write something, podcast, YouTube, everything, without a strategy or without worrying about, is it good content?
Correct. And is it really telling my story as a small business owner?
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to be your unique selling proposition in terms of differentiating yourself from everybody else who does almost exactly similar to what you do or what you are offering.
So what are you hearing, before we go into some of the other areas there, you had a lot of how many people? Seems like there's always hundreds of people that come to this.
We had about 400 small business owners and entrepreneurs, which was phenomenal. You cannot, as you can see, at the end of the day, I was exhausted, but I couldn't wipe the smile off my face because of all the stories that we heard, because of the networking opportunities and the learning opportunities as well.
What did you hear from them as their greatest need? Is it just money, or is it understanding the technology? Those are the two things we're talking about here. Or is it something else?
It's the financial piece, it's the marketing piece, and most importantly, it's the resources. Where do I start, and who's going to be my point of contact to connect me with the right resource? And I think this is what we do in an amazing way at the SBDC, is we are the point of contact and the resource for our small business owners, because yes, we are a network of over 150 staff and consultants, but we never claim that we have all the answers. Yet we know the doors to knock on and the windows and doors to open for our clients if it's outside our scope.
So let's talk about your other role for a second. You run not just the local, one of the, what are there, 10 centers? I always forget how many centers.
10 service centers, correct.
You run one of them, one of the bigger ones at Cal State Fullerton, and you also run the Global Trade Center. And I've had you on the show before talking about that one specifically. I don't want to go too deep into that one, but I still think that is the hidden gem in the network, because I'm a small business. Most of the people there, we're small businesses, right? By definition. They don't think they can do business in other countries. They don't think they're smart enough, big enough, strong enough, diverse enough, whatever it is. They think they're missing something. Are they, or are there opportunities for small businesses overseas?
There are definitely opportunities. There are tons of them. Just start by thinking about the countries that we share borders with in terms of possible low-hanging fruits. But most importantly, through the SBDC, we do handhold our clients through an assessment process when it comes to global trade. Understanding, first of all, if there is a need, and through market research and our SBDC Intel team, we are able to come back to our clients with answers on the market need at a global level and where would be the opportunities that are available. And then from there, we help them put together the pieces that are needed to break into these markets, especially when it comes to compliance and understanding which channels to use. Is it going to be by air? Is it going to be by sea? Is it going to be one product at a time?
Boy,
guess what? Services are on that list as well. It doesn't have to be just products. And when we were at the Growth Summit last week, there was a track under the resources where we talked about finding your best export markets and leveraging the California STREP grant, which is a vouchers opportunity and reimbursement opportunity through the state and through the federal government for some business owners to take advantage of, to get reimbursed for some of the cost of expanding globally. We did run this session in collaboration with the governor's office to share these resources with our small business owners.
Now, let me see if I understood. You threw a lot out there. You're telling me there's free money. There's a grant from the state or the Fed or both to encourage small business to help me explore doing business elsewhere.
Absolutely. And this is through the STEP program that basically helps with reimbursement up to $10,000 towards specific activities that are geared towards global expansion. It could be translating your website. It could be creating collateral material with the language of the country you're trying to reach out to. It could be mailing some samples to a specific distributor, and it could be attending some trade shows in that specific market.
And does that apply to these trade missions that you do? You did one last year to Korea. I think you got another one coming up to both Korea and Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, some of the costs definitely could be covered. Next year, I'm excited to announce that we're going to be leading a trade mission to Vietnam and South Korea, because why do one country when you can touch two countries?
You're so close, yeah.
Exactly. The application is open on our website, ociesmallbusiness.org. The application is still open for the next few days, but our goal is to basically help our business owners with building relationships, one-on-one business matchmaking, getting aligned with manufacturers and distributors in both of these countries.
What do small businesses say when you bring that up? They walk in the door saying, I need money, and I need more customers, and I need to break through the noise. I was just talking to somebody earlier today, and he's got a great product. doing well, picking up some business. He said, but I don't make enough noise. I don't cut through the noise. Nobody knows I even exist. And he makes that face that we all make. Does that mean I have to do social media? Does that mean I have to do constant marketing? I don't know if I have the time. I don't have the talent. I don't have the budget. Is it just breaking through, or is it more than that? It seems like there's multi-levels to this conversation here.
Absolutely. And it's a customized approach depending on the industry, depending on the markets, and for sure taking into consideration the budget and the resources that a business has in terms of people.
Yeah, right.
There are these different buckets that a business operates on. We talked about the cash and the financial. We talked about the customers and the marketing. We talked about the plan, but also having the team that is able to support you. It's very crucial. And that is why under our resource track, we did feature the Orange County Workforce Development Board, where the team shared amazing hiring subsidies and resources and workforce resources that are available right here in Orange County in terms of business owners taking advantage of to build their teams.
We get press releases on that here because we're a radio station, but I can't say I know that's anybody that's ever been to the workforce development. What do they have? Meetings? Do they have, I don't know, what do they do? And why is it that most small businesses don't know about this thing?
Because there's so much out there. And to be fair, as a small business owner, your priority is to run your business and ensure that you are attending to your own clients or customers and also attending to your team's need. But that is why you lean on us as the SBDC, because your SBDC consultant will be able to keep these resources top of mind and connect you with a direct point of contact, so you don't have to go on websites and call 800 numbers and so forth.
I think that's its biggest advantage. You're giving me almost an unfair advantage over my other competitors, because for free, you're bringing in some expertise that might open my eyes to things I hadn't seen before. You're giving me some connections that you guys have developed and to guide through the maze of regulations and compliance and paperwork and all the thing I need to get into some of these government programs or overseas. And you give me the latest ideas, up-to-date information. You're like a free consultant.
You know what? We're prepaid for. That's the thing. But you never have to worry about receiving an invoice from us, because our program exists for this exact purpose, which is supporting and helping entrepreneurs and small business owners start, grow, and expand their business. We are your community of small business experts, and you are our reason. That's why we exist. So going back to the Small Business Growth Summit, like we were talking about these different resources, we did host the City of Irvine mayor, who shared resources available here through the City of Irvine. But also part of what we featured is information on how you can do a business with the city, such as the City of Irvine. And we did have representatives from different cities from all across Orange County with assigned lunch tables, giving our business owners the opportunity to connect with a point of contact from the Economic Development Department from each of these cities.
Interesting.
This is another way or another contact that business owners do not always think about. But the Economic Development Department is in your corner. Lean on them. They have resources, and they are one of your way in terms of understanding the resources available within your community.
I'm going to give you another center that we've talked to within the SBDC that I think is another hidden gem, and that's, what do they call it, the Government Contracting Center or whatever.
Center for Contracting, yes.
And the whole point is, again, you think government, it's got to be big. I'm too small. I can't satisfy this. But they're looking for everything from big things to little things, to somebody to clean the buildings, to somebody to help write their handbooks, somebody to put on their employee party at the end of the year. I don't know. They're a business like any other business, and they're hiring things. Why do we not think of selling ourselves to the city, to the county, to the state, to the feds, all those different government entities? Most of small businesses don't even think of that as a resource.
Exactly. And before eliminating it as an opportunity, it's as simple as having a quick meeting with your SBDC consultant to help you identify the opportunity, and if there are next steps, what are the next steps, and work with you on these next steps. You don't have to do it alone.
I guess I got to come back to AI. You mentioned it before. It's the buzzword. Everybody's AI. Oh, AI. I should be doing AI. What's AI? I know we have a great AI expert in Roger at the Marketing Center there, that his passion is built into this. He's had experience into it. There's a whole team of people putting together different things. Is AI a tool, or is AI there to replace people? Is this just I'm going to get robots to do it and it's cheaper, or is it a way to I'm overwhelmed with tasks. I can't schedule my employees. I can't do this. I can't write my social media and all that stuff. Is it just a tool to help me, the small business owner? I guess that's what we're trying to figure out. Is it just cost savings on time, or is it going to replace people, or maybe both? I don't know.
Let's hope it's not replacing people. Let's hope it's a tool that's going to basically solidify and bring more support. Because at the end of the day, here's my personal understanding, or the way I see it personally. I don't believe that anyone or any tool or robot will be able to replace our human brain. That's why we are humans. That's why we exist.
I hope so.
Exactly. With that being said, it's definitely a tool that we should pay attention to, but most importantly, understand the pros and cons of how we integrate it into our business operation.
Yes. Roger's always given me examples, and he's been on the show before. Let's say you own a restaurant. And I had a restaurant for a while. Oh, just the difficulties of scheduling part-time people. Susie can't make it on Tuesdays, but next Wednesday she can. And I'm trying to figure out all these timetables here. AI can do that. I live in a world of podcasting.
AI can help do that.
Yes.
It can do it on your behalf. It can help do that if you know how to customize it and use it for the purpose of supporting your business. That is the big piece, right? But again, you don't have to do it alone. Reach out to us. We are here to help guide you through the pros and cons. It's exactly like a few years ago when social media became this big thing.
And nobody knew what to do with it. Yeah, exactly. I'm still not sure. Yeah.
It's the same thing. If you lean only on Facebook, you are relinquishing control of your content. Your page closes, gets shut down one day. You don't have direct access to your 120,000 fans on Facebook or Meta. Nowadays it's called Meta.
Right.
So it's the same thing. Every tool, it has its pros and cons. It's understanding the pros and cons and how to leverage it for the support of the business.
People are always asking me, where should I put my content? If it's a podcast or YouTube, I say as many places as you can, as many places as your customers are showing up. If they're at all these platforms, then the more the merrier. If your customers are focused on these platforms and this is the most effective thing, then maybe you can do it elsewhere. But it is overwhelming because, let's face it, most of us got into a small business not because we're great accountants, not because we have some banking knowledge, not because we're brilliant at running people or at doing marketing campaigns. We love what we do. We like baking goods. We like telling stories like I do. We like these things that we take on, but we're forced to assume all these other roles because we're a small business. There isn't an HR department. There isn't an accounting department. You're it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And because you're it, how do you surround yourself with a network that will provide you the support that you need? So one of the amazing resources we showcased and featured at our Small Business Growth Summit last week is we had a panel of our local chambers, some of our local chambers, ethnic chambers and otherwise, where the founders and or CEO and presidents of these chambers shared the reasons to why a chamber is important and the kind of resources that are available to small business owners through the chambers. So this is, again, talking about resources that are available out there. This is really what we try to do with this Growth Summit, is make sure that we are bringing as many resources in one place to our almost 400 participants and attendees during those few hours to make sure that they are making the most connections possible.
So let me give you a tough question. I didn't prep you for this, so you may have to think for a second about this, but what surprised you? Was there any questions that came up, any stories you heard, anything you went, oh, that's surprising. I didn't expect that.
So I will definitely tell you what surprised me, although you didn't prep me, but I had that as part of the resources I wanted to share. I don't know how many people know who have been working with us at the SBDC that we actually provide no-cost market research reports to our small business owners.
Wow.
So at the event, we had a couple of stations where participants were requesting what is called a BizMiner report. That is a financial report that will help give them a benchmark or numbers in terms of what the industry stands that is parallel to their industry. And then they look at these reports and they were having a conversation on the spot with an SBDC consultant, helping them demystify and decode what these numbers are.
Demystify, that's the big thing, because that's all voodoo to me here. I don't know what am I supposed to be doing? What are others doing? What's the benchmark I should be trying to hit here? Am I above or below? Any stories you heard, or any questions that came up? If I was If I was going to wrap this up and say, here, everybody was interested in what? I would think AI because it's new, but maybe it's going overseas, or maybe it's just blocking and tackling and the basics again here. What was the buzz? What were people talking about?
Yeah, so Paul, going back to the basics definitely is something that sometimes we lose sight of, right? Because as you were mentioning a few minutes ago, in terms of why we start a business, because we're passionate as small business owners about whatever field we decide to go into. So part of what we also presented at the Growth Summit, all of our participants were able to request right there on the spot an SEM Rush report. You probably know what that is. This is basically decoding how your website is performing or not performing compared to your competitors.
More mystification here. I don't know. Somebody built it for me, and I hope it works. Yeah,
exactly. But as a business owner is understanding what is working, what's not working, because we can keep updating our website. We can keep posting on social media. We can keep using AI to help us generate content. We can keeping the same team of individuals on our teams. But the bottom line is what? ROI, how each of these functions are delivering results based on specific KPIs that are relevant to our business. And I know I use some keywords here. ROI is return on investment.
Exactly.
And KPI is key performance indicators. So going back to the basic is very
two things that every business understands completely, except small businesses. What's your KPIs? What are your key performance? How do you know if you're doing well? I don't know. I go look at the bank account and I see if it's money in there. What is your process for doing this? I don't know. I know how to do it, but I don't have it on paper here. We're not good at really doing that. I'll give you another one that I struggle with, and I think other small businesses do. Focus. I can do this, but I could do this. I hear they're making money over here. Maybe I should go overseas. Maybe I should do this. And we start chasing every shiny object in town here. And sometimes you got to get back to the basics and say, what do you do best? Let's start with that.
Exactly. So focus and being strategic and intentional in the approach. And if you're not sure where to start, please reach out to us, because that's really our purpose. You guys are our purpose as a small business owner, to help you get started, to help you look at what's next, to help you plan in advance, and most importantly, to help you assess where your business stands right now.
Exactly.
Again, taking it back to the basic, all the shiny objects with AI and global trade.
Oh, everything. I'm going to do it all.
They all sound amazing, right? They all sound amazing, but let's start with a full understanding and assessment of where the business stands right now. And do we have all the pieces it takes to take it to the next level?
And can you really see that yourself? You hope you can, but sometimes it takes, that's why consultants exist. You bring in somebody who can see what you can't see. The best athletes in the world all have coaches, and they all know that as good as they think they are, it takes somebody standing outside of you sometimes to say, did you notice you do this all the time? Maybe you could do this a little better. I think that's what you guys are. You're like a whole team of coaches there that I can call upon, or any small business can call upon to guide me to the next level.
We're your community, so you don't have to do it alone. So lean on us as a community of business experts, so we can guide you with resources and next steps, so you don't have to do it alone.
And I'll end with that, because I think that's the toughest part about being a small business. You're in it alone. Maybe you got a partner, maybe you got friends and family, but it's pretty much your business, and you don't have a whole network of people to compare and stimulate ideas. Maybe you join other things like the chambers and other stuff to find mentors, or to find compatriots and somebody to share your ideas and thoughts and pains and problem with. Here's a network. How many did you say? It's like 100 consultants. So not just your consultant, but they've got a whole network of people they can call upon as well to add to that. You've got a whole team of 100 plus people at your beck and call if you just make the call. How do they find you? It must be complicated. It must be difficult.
It's actually easy. There are multiple ways they can find us. The one thing I wanted to mention is that our team of consultants are active business owners themselves, or experts in specific areas. So we're already in the trenches doing it for our own businesses.
Exactly.
We've got pinched a few times. We've struggled. We have challenges. So you will have the advantage of learning from our journey.
This isn't just theory. Yeah, they're out doing it.
Exactly. So how do you find us? Our website, ociesmallbusiness.org. You can visit our website. You can chat with someone live in multiple languages. We do speak over 22nd languages across our network if you choose to. Or you can give us a call at our 800 number, which is 800-616 7232. The bottom line is make sure you connect with a human being, and that individual from the SBDC team will open doors for you.
Exactly. And be your free coach, be your free mentor if you need one. Open your eyes to opportunities. Take a look from the outside at what you're doing and see if it can be improved upon. And experts they can call upon to add all these shiny elements like AI and overseas and the government contracts and 1,000 other things you probably never thought of before here. I think it's a phenomenal resource. I love talking to you guys each week on this show and exploring the different elements of it here. When is this something you do just once a year, or is another one coming up next year sometime?
Absolutely. Across our network, we hold these conferences on multiple occasions. Right here in Orange County, a minimum of twice a year, same in IE as well. I think the best way to find out when and if it's happening is visiting our website. That's where we usually promote them first. And also, if you are part of our network, if you're not part of our network, make sure you do sign up and subscribe for our newsletter.
Absolutely.
Because you will be receiving notifications that way as well.
And if none of that works, tune in each and every time and listen to the Profit Talks podcast, where we explore all that's going on in the network and talk to small businesses just like me, just like you listening today here, and the resources that are available today through the small business development centers across the country, particularly here in the Orange County and Inland Empire. Thank you very much for bringing both of your hats and your expertise in here today, guiding a center on a day-to-day basis, and taking us into the 21st century and beyond as we look at global trade and all the other things out there that we're probably not thinking enough about. Thank you so much. How do they reach you one more time? Give me one more phone number or website here.
Absolutely. Our website is ociesmallbusiness.org, and our 800 number is 800-616-7232.
All right. Thank you so much, Manal, for joining us again here today and giving us a recap of what took place recently at the SBDC Small Business Growth Summit. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Paul.
As we conclude another episode of the Profit Talks podcast, we hope we've empowered your entrepreneurial spirit. Reach out to us to connect with our experts, and let's take your business to the next level. Keep those dreams alive, keep pushing forward, and stay tuned for more. And if you liked what you heard in today's podcast and you want your business to reach new heights, just contact us at profittalkspodcast.org or call us at 1-800-616-7232. That's 1-800-616-7232. So until next time, keep thriving.